Behind me is our F87 M2, and today we're going to be answering a very simple question. Should you buy one of these cars in 2024? So this is an OG M2, which essentially means it's the original version of the M2, so it's got the N55. There was a very short window of cars in around the end of 2017, 2018 that had a facelift. So this has got updated LED headlights, it's got an updated interior, updated brake lights. So this is spec'd in mineral grey. This mineral grey is only available on the OGs. They actually discontinued it with the M2 competition and replaced that with the Hockenheim Silver. Other than the colour, these cars didn't really have much to spec. You could essentially spec the upgraded Icon headlights, which we don't have on this car, which breaks my heart every time I look at it, but we're going to try and fix that at some point. And then otherwise, there wasn't really much else other than the sunroof that you could spec. These cars come decked out from the factory. As with any AUTOID video, it wouldn't be a video of ours if we didn't throw a little mod on the car. And as you can see, the car is looking a little bit bald at the front, so we're going to fix that. This is the brand new CSL splitter for the OG M2. This is a wet carbon, so it's a bit more accessible in terms of price. It means if you ding it, it's not as expensive to replace it, which is good because I knocked my first splitter off, but less on that anyways. But yeah, let's get this on the car. I've been dying to actually see this fitted.
Wanted something that you just couldn't have. And have you ever heard something funny? It was so funny, but you just couldn't laugh. Oh no.
So splitter is fitted, and to be honest with you, I'm very, very happy with how it looks. The side skirts down the side are like quite a flat design, and this splitter just really contributes towards that. Like, it really goes nice along there. This edge here sort of follows along. The actual design's quite aggressive. Like, it's a lot more aggressive than what I would normally go with a car. To be honest, I'm more of like a OEM plus, so this is a bit of a different look for me, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's kind of like that sort of track style, sort of CSL style of splitter. And whilst we're talking about modifications, we might as well talk about the other stuff that we've done to this car, because it looks fairly stock for what it is, but there's a nice amount of kind of mods that are underneath the surface. So up front is obviously the splitter that we've just installed. So these wheels are a custom forged wheel by the guys at West Forged. I actually can't remember the full specs, but we'll pop them up on the video now just so you know. But these fit absolutely perfectly. There's no rubbing. My only probably complaint is that they are quite bright. I am tempted to potentially put a bit of tint over this, because if you get close up, they've got a nice brushed finish. They're actually like an exposed metal finish that's just then been lacquered, which was something I wanted, but this is a little bit brighter than probably I would have liked, so might yeah, tint that down if possible. But otherwise, super happy with that. And then just again for that motorsport feel, we've got a stud conversion kit, and I can't tell you how handy this is. We changed the rear tyres on this car quite a lot, and it just makes that process so easy, and they look motorsports. The car is also lowered, so this is on IBAC lowering springs. So this is a slight bit of controversy here. I've got the original style TRE mirror caps rather than the M style mirror units. The guys in the office sound a bit of an idiot saying that we made the TRE mirror units, but I wanted to keep stuff original, so matter of preference, I guess. Around the back we've got the TRE CS spoiler, some ASEX on rear reflector insert, Essentials rear diffuser, and then we've got a Miltech exhaust system, which I'm going to give a rev for you now, and that's also got the brushed titanium tips on to match the wheels. Let's hear what it sounds like. So I've had a look around the car now, and I think it's probably worth talking about the stuff that I don't like about this car. Those things are So one of the points to mention about this car is currently where it sits in the market. Obviously we've got a G87 M2, which is near enough a 70 grand car. This can be had for less than half that price. This car as it stands is about 30 grand. You can get a OG M2 for about 22 grand, which would be like a high mileage auto car. They're still sort of half the price of the new M2, which is to be expected, to be honest. That's obviously going to happen at any point when a new generation of car comes out. Whilst I don't want to do a complete direct comparison to the G87 M2, I obviously do own that car and drive it on a daily basis, so it would be silly for me not to be able to draw some comparisons. And I think the main thing you guys want to know, is this car worth owning in 2024 when you can go into a showroom and get a finance deal on one of those G87 M2s? Let's take a drive, let's find out, and I can give you my thoughts on the car. So we're now in the F87. I'm going to take it for a little drive and show you why we love it. So a bit about the performance of this car. From factory, they're around 360 horsepower. This is running a boot mod free stage 1, which puts it to around the 400 mark. So this has got a real nice bound of power, like on the road. You don't tend to need a lot more than 400 horsepower in a sports car, to be totally honest with you. And this feels like a really nice power for this car, especially with a manual gearbox. So super happy with that modification. The other thing we've done as well is the CS steering, and that just adds so much directness to the way that the wheel feels in your hand. Before, there's this very slight but subtle sort of play in the steering wheel, and my G87 M2 is plagued by it as well, where there's just a little bit of dead space between sort of the action that you're doing and the action that the kind of wheels take at the end of the steering column. And with that CS tune, that sort of just brings that all in line, and it feels really nice. Other performance mods, there's not any. We're looking at doing potentially a ram air intake on this, which is just going to make it sound a bit nicer from the front of the car, but the exhaust is the main other performance modification that we've done. So from a performance perspective, this car is all you're ever going to need on the UK roads. 400 horsepower with a boot mod free stage 1 makes this car come to life. The I-back lowering springs make the centre of mass a lot lower, so the car just feels hunkered down to the road. The overall geometry and sort of setup of this car is genuinely one of the best that BMW have done, in my honest opinion. And you know, we've had Liam Lawson drive this car. He's borrowed this car. He's a reserve driver at the moment for Red Bull, and he said this is genuinely one of the best road cars he's ever driven, and you can imagine the sort of cars that guy's been in over the years. So there's no question about what this car is like from a sports car perspective. Now, if you're trying to buy this car in 2024, I feel like that's going to be the main reason you buy this car, because it is a sports car and you're going to use it for that. So that should be it. The conversation should be over there. But obviously, you're going to use this car for more than just daily in it and living with it day to day. Full screen Apple CarPlay. You've got this analog dash, but it's been made to look digital as well. So again, it doesn't feel. I use the iDrive 8 in my G87 M2 every single day, and I get in this and I don't feel shortchanged. It's got all the information that I want on the screen. You've got my oil temps just in front of me as well, so I know when the car's warmed up. We've got automatic air conditioning, all of that stuff. But one of the changes I did make to this car, and this is the one probably big difference on the interior compared to the M2 competition, is the seats. As you'll see behind me here, we've got the M2 competition seats. These weren't standard in the OG M2. Even in the LCI one, it's still got the standard seats, which are a little bit lacking in terms of like side bolster and grip. So when you do get a little bit sort of sidewaysy, you do start to fall around. Whereas with these, really well supported, super comfortable. You've got all the electronic functions still as well. I've got memory seats, they're still heated. This is probably one of the main changes I'd make. If you buy one of these OG M2s, this will probably be one of the first changes I'd make. So, the answer to the question that we posed, me and Nathan were literally just trying to summarise this in the car a second ago, and I think we got it. This car is half the price of the new G87 M2. Is it half the car? I think that would answer the question for you. Absolutely not. This car is amazing. It doesn't matter what year it is, whether we're watching this video in 2030, this car is going to be worth buying. This is going to go down as one of BMW's all-time classics. I'm absolutely sure of it. This car will not be leaving our AUTOID garage. This is going to be here forever. Manual LCI OG M2, love it. I recommend you guys buy it, and let's enjoy these cars for as long as we can.